Meghan Markle's career is circling the drain. Netflix flops, public flops, a slow-motion train wreck, some whisper looks like an Illuminati humiliation ritual. Did she sell her soul to the devil for that Hollywood crown, only to be ritually discarded? Word is leaking out. A bombshell freak-off tape, starring none other than Meghan Markle, ex-royal turned Hollywood climber, has surfaced from a debauched Diddy party and just fetched a fortune on the black market. For years, she's played the game, rubbing elbows with Diddy, Epstein and Hollywood's most degraded VIPs, all while the legacy media ran cover. But now the mask is off, the tide's shifting, and there's no escape. Meghan, Harry, and a laundry list of A-listers are cornered, with the truth closing in fast. Before we dive in, join the TPV free speech community over on Soju. Soju is a digital space where ideas and information can take place without any annoying algorithms or restrictive rules getting in the way of free expression. For years, Diddy had his crosshairs locked on Prince Harry. Royalty isn't just a title, it's a golden ticket for the blackmail empires built by predators like Diddy and Epstein. These puppet masters don't just collect power, they hoard leverage, and a prince is the perfect prize.
Want to get Prince William and Prince Harry to a Diddy party?
I don't think, not anymore. I mean, before, you know.
Yeah, don't ruin our royal wedding for us.
Trust me, they're off the list. Now they're off the list. But, you know, before, when they were young bucks growing up, and they were getting in a lot of trouble themselves, so, hey, I was like, why don't you come hang out with me?
No, but you have met them. I've got the pictures. There you are. And, oh, and look at William doing his cool handshake.
Yeah.
But then came Meghan Markle. Ambitious, relentless, a social climber who'd stop at nothing to claw her way to the top. Suddenly, the game changed. Diddy circled back, and this time, the Duke and Duchess were primed and ready to play ball.
Let's look at the front page of the Sun today. He's making headlines there. He's been named in a US court documents relating to the rapper P. Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs.
Yeah, the court documents filed in the US mention guests were drawn to Combs' alleged sex trafficking parties because of his so-called access to celebrities and international dignitaries, which included the likes of Prince Harry.
So, what went down between those two explosive clips? Jaguar Wright, who's got the elite sweating bullets, lays it bare. They're scrambling to shut her down, even stooping to frame her this week. But we see through the smoke and mirrors. Get ready for the real story.
The psychopaths rise to the top. So, a common question that's coming in for you, and Paula M's asked this as well, shout out to Paula M, about the UK royal family, if any of them were ever involved in these alleged activities.
Well, allegedly, everyone has seen multiple pictures with Harry and Meghan. And considering their close ties to Oprah and Oprah's close ties to Ellen and Ellen's close ties to the Diddler and all of those parties that they attended, and considering that when they defected the royal apartments, and they were forced to, step away from their birthright. It was Tyler Perry who hosted them, which we also know has now been linked to the Diddy parties. It's really not going to age well for anyone. There's a lot there. There's too much there. And even the uncle, with his connection to Epstein, he dated a lot of video girls and video models who either made their way through the Rock Nation camp or the Bad Boy camp. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. I'm just glad the Queen is resting, because if she was still alive now, I think this would have killed her anyway.
But it gets even worse for Meghan and Harry. Hollywood insider Daniel Baldwin of the Baldwin acting family reveals there are currently bidding wars going on in Hollywood, where celebrities are buying Diddy tapes to save their crimes from being exposed to the public.
Look at Diddy, for instance. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at, he has videos. He has videos of the parties. Now, what I've heard, which I don't know how much of it is in mainstream media, I don't really follow the story that much, But what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now. They're driving that price up because if you want your client and your famous actor to not be involved, or famous singer to not come out, here's the price. And that they're just selling to the individuals that are in those. This is what I heard. They're selling those videos. So if you're Tommy X, and Tommy X is a big, big movie star, and he was at some of the Diddy parties. He was in one of those bedrooms with 3 other men, and he's happily married to a woman, and blah. Tommy doesn't want that video to come out. He does not want it to come out. Same thing for Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the interesting thing about the Epstein and the theory about Epstein is we know he filmed people for sure on that island. He has a lot of movies, a lot of films of people that are very, very powerful political figures, and entertainers, business people. So, do you really believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself? Of
course not.
Of course not.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so there's other theories that he's in Lebanon. He never died at all.
Baldwin was over the target with the Epstein allegation. Everybody in Hollywood and DC knows his death was a hoax to mislead the masses. But don't take my word for it. An Israeli whistleblower just dropped a bombshell complete with receipts, revealing that Epstein is still alive, kicking back in Israel and mocking us all. Meanwhile, his blackmailed VIP puppets keep dancing to his tune. We got the full scoop in a recent video on X, and trust us, you'll want to see this. But what do Baldwin's allegations mean for Meghan and Harry? We've got the exclusive dirt from one of Diddy's security staff, right after this important word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippins says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippins says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkouts. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. With a wife like his, whose only gripe when selling her soul to the devil was that she couldn't cash it in twice, is it any shock Harry got tangled in the global elite's dark underbelly? And given his bloodline, is it any wonder Harry has been caught up in the sick and twisted world of child trafficking and blood sacrifice? His ancestors have been eating human flesh for centuries. With strong evidence, the practice continues to this day, in the form of baby's blood and associated occult rituals. Why else would King Charles's first official portrait bear the image of Baphomet in the form of mirrored images? Prince Charles was also best friends with Britain's most notorious paedophile and occultist Jimmy Savile, regularly hosting him at royal estates and using him as a sounding board for advice. Charles even asked Savile, who raped hundreds of children over the course of decades as a BBC presenter, to write an etiquette guide to be followed by the Queen.
We were trying to explain how Jimmy Savile got away with his crimes, and as part of that we were looking at a huge amount of archive footage of him on television over a period of 50 years. And as part of that, of talking to people, we came across the letters between him and Prince Charles, which helped give us an understanding of the nature of the friendship that they had, which I don't really think we fully understood before. And I suppose what was most interesting and why we've included those in the film, which looks really broadly at many reasons why Jimmy Savile wasn't apprehended before he died, is that the relationship was one where Prince Charles trusted and respected Jimmy Savile.
What are the chances of Charles and Andrew both being best friends with the most notorious international paedophiles of their generation? King Charles's great uncle and mentor Lord Mountbatten was also accused of raping an 11-year-old boy at a notorious children's home in the 1970s, adding weight to allegations that the British royal family practiced child sacrifice and ritualistic paedophilia as one of their ancient rites and customs. And what are the chances of King Charles's mentor also being accused of raping young boys? How many times can these revelations be spotted aside and declared a coincidence?
Here, Savile is interviewed in the capacity of celebrity Rolls-Royce owner. Propped up against a bar, he deadpans that the problem with a Rolls is that it's difficult to persuade girls to go for a ride in it.
Well, it's very bad for a single fella like me, because a girl will not get into a Rolls-Royce because it's too posh.
He then mentions that he keeps a little van for that purpose instead, as it's less conspicuous. Savile's regular trick of hiding in plain sight is clearly demonstrated here.
So I keep a little van. It's a lot better.
He appears perfectly calm while volunteering this incriminating detail.
Now that Savile and Mountbatten are dead, and Charles's disgraced brother Andrew can't keep company with Jeffrey Epstein anymore, Charles is spending his time working on ushering in the globalist vision of the New World Order, with all the anti-human evil that it entails. Here is Charles, the man accused of raping countless young boys at Aldenham School, and Emmanuel Macron, the man who was groomed at the age of 14 by his so-called wife, welcoming guests of the New World Order at the opulent Palace of Versailles. Yes, these are the same parasites pushing net zero, 15-minute cities, and open borders onto the peasants. The camera caught the hypocrisy and shame, but the darkest secrets? They're festering behind closed doors, begging to be unearthed. According to a man who works security at Diddy's white parties, the full truth about the crimes committed by VIP elites has yet to be revealed. And when it does, Meghan Markle's involvement will come to light, because the truth can't stay hidden forever.
Yo, listen up, fam. This ain't no game, right? My name ain't important, but I used to roll deep with Diddy back in the day, part of the crew working security that saw everything that go down at them white parties. I'm talking about the real shit, the stuff they don't put on TMZ, the stuff that make your stomach turn. I'm blowing the whistle because people need to know what's good, especially if you got kids dreaming about fame. Keep them out of this industry, fam. It's a damn trap. So check this. A few years back, I'm working at one of Diddy's white parties. You know, the ones where everybody's dripped in all white, acting like they holier than thou, but the vibe's off. Real sinister-like. And who rolls up? Meghan Markle. Yeah, that Meghan, the one who snagged Prince Harry. She's got Harry trailing behind her like a lost puppy, looking all awkward in his crisp white fit. But Meghan, she's on one, fam, pushy as hell, desperate to shine, trying to rub elbows with the elite. She acting like she ain't already a duchess or whatever. Like she gotta prove something, hungry for attention, climbing that ladder one sleazy handshake at a time. I seen her in action, yo. Like one time Diddy's talking to some big-time producer, right? Meghan butts in all loud, like, "Oh, Sean, you ain't introduced me yet. This man needs to know who I am." Diddy's eyebrow go up like, "Chill, fam." But she don't stop. She's pushing, leaning in, laughing too loud, touching the dude's arm like they besties. The producer's trying to back off, giving her that polite get-out-of-my-face smile, but she don't care. She's like, "Oh, we gotta work together. I got ideas. I'm the one you need." Straight desperate, yo. Diddy just smirked and let her ramble, because he knew what was coming later that night. Now, hold up. This where it get real dark, right? These parties ain't just champagne and photo ops. There's a room, fam, a back room, where the occult shit pops off. I seen it with my own eyes. They pull you in, talking about rituals, power, sacrificing to stay on top. And Meghan, she was all in, like she'd been waiting her whole life for this invite. They start whispering to her, some of Diddy's in a circle, telling her she gotta prove her loyalty. They bring up this kid, little innocent thing, couldn't have been more than 5 or 6. They saying it's part of the deal, some twisted blood pact to lock in your spot with the elite. Sacrifice the kid. Tap into that dark energy. Keep the fame flowing. Harry's standing there looking shook but not surprised, you feel me? Like he's uncomfortable, shifting on his feet, but he ain't running. Word is he's seen this kind of mess before. Royal blood got its own skeletons, I guess. Meghan, though, she's locked in, eyes wide, nodding like she trying to impress him. They egging her on, saying, do it, Meghan. This how you stay relevant. This how you climb. And she don't even flinch, fam. She's too far gone, too damn eager. Next thing I know, they handing her a blade, and I'm out. I couldn't watch that part, but later I hear it went down. They say she cut that poor kid, and then, yo, this the nasty part. They had her eating flesh, drinking blood laced with adrenaline, some adrenalized shit they swear keeps you young and powerful. I seen her after, fam, wiping her mouth, smiling like she just won an Oscar. Harry's off to the side, pale as hell, but he ain't saying shit. He's too deep in this world to act brand new. I'm telling you, this ain't no fairy tale. Meghan was desperate, pushy, ready to do whatever to please them elites, and she crossed a line you can't come back from. That night stuck with me, still makes me sick. Parents out there, listen close. Keep your babies out of this industry. Hollywood, the royals, all that fame shit. It's a meat grinder, and they're eating souls for breakfast. I'm done talking. Peace.
For decades, the entertainment industry elites have been shoving their depravity into our faces, laughing as we stayed blind. Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres, not just talk show queens, they've been gatekeepers, neck deep in blackmail schemes, grooming millions of viewers to accept their normalized crimes. Don't kid yourself for a second. These elites weren't just complicit, they were architects. This is the putrid truth. An ancient paedophile cult, cloaked in glitz, has sunk its claws into Hollywood, hijacking the entertainment machine to peddle its Luciferian agenda. They've dangled fame and fortune like bait, reeling in our children while corrupting our culture from the inside out. Generation after generation, the most vulnerable among us have paid the price, sacrificed to their twisted power. But now the veil has been ripped off. If you want a world where our kids are not prey for these monsters, it's time to make a stand. Fight back, or watch it all burn. Help us expose the crimes of the elite by subscribing to the channel, following me on X, and joining the People's Voice Locals community to help us educate the world about what's really happening in the world today. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big tech companies to provide unreliable, overpriced services such as self-hosting, email, and data management. IPv6ers enables an easy and accessible way for you to host your own web and email server with direct end-to-end connections and enhanced security. This means no snooping from Big Brother and no interference from the technocratic elite. If Hillary Clinton can get away with running her own server, why shouldn't you? Go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 to sign up, or click the link below this video to take back control of the internet and win the info wars against the globalists. If you like our content, help support our sponsor IPv6ers and go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 today. Thank you IPv6ers for making this video possible.